So this all leads up to a truly fascinating area of the Wilts and Berks Canal. I'm back on the Wilts and Berks for a bit of an update on the Pewsham section of the canal. You have just here, I've not come down this far before, not in these videos. You've got Queen Camilla's place just over there behind me, and you've got the beautiful village of Laycock just over there. The canal itself ran behind us here, but used to turn here and run in that direction across there towards kind of the Bow pub in Laycock, if you know where that is. Great pub, by the way. I don't normally come down here because this footpath through here is terrible. It's really boggy. Even in the summer, it's really sticky and muddy. Now, the first bit here, as you can see, still isn't great. It's not too bad. It's just a little bit sticky. But the second section, the trust were given permission this year to work on, so it is a lot better. So as you can see, it's very dry down here now, no problems whatsoever. It's rained constantly now for, I don't know, 6 months or something. It's been crazy. So this would normally be almost like the canal bed here. It would just be so full of water. It's not a very big section, less than 100 metres I'd say. But it does lead on to the Nation Hill section, which the Trust got access to this year. That's a small section there that I just said, and then into here, which was cleared several years ago, but Wiltshire Council had control of it, or Chippenham Council, I'm not sure which one, and the Trust couldn't maintain it. They weren't allowed to. So now it's back to square one with it, but now they've got a lease on it. Hopefully they can keep things a little bit better. The walk through here is the Avon Valley Walk. I believe, I could be wrong on this, this was once part of the Sustrans cycle network, and I think the hope for the Trust is, with sort of this section, the towpaths is going to be improved down here and raised. You can see areas like this where it's quite a lot lower. With this improved, with the Pewsham section, with the section they've got over the other side of the A4, get this cycle track going to Canal, that they can maybe join Laycock onto that cycle track and create like a big corridor down through here. Whether Sustrans will get involved in that, I don't know, but it's a possibility for the future. They will only have a small section to get in between sort of the top of Pewsham Locks to sort of the A4 north site. I'm sure with the planned building works in the Chippenham local plan that the canal will be obtained with that, as they'll be building houses and a bypass right up to sort of the top section of it. So this section is about 500 metres. It's fairly clear, like I said, it was cleared before. You haven't got a huge amount of trees sort of on the towpath side of the bank. You've got a few like this, but they're only small, very, very small trees. The roots shouldn't have caused a lot of damage to the bed of the canal, and they are removable, and put a little bush here really, a few trees behind. But they started work on this end. It's more on the environmental side of things. So Howard Yardy and his team have been working just below us here, and all the way through. They're creating a wildflower meadow, as well as some tree planting and stuff. And if you look all the way up through here, you can see lots of trees being planted in these sort of hedgerows. You can see bird boxes up there, look, and all sorts. And this leads up to sort of Double Bridge, which is just up here. So Double Bridge itself has quite a fascinating history. It's double the width. The reason being that there was a wall in the middle, and it meant that the farmers both had land on each side of the canal after the canal was built, and it meant they could drive their livestock over the bridge without sort of it getting mixed in with the other farmers. There's a bit of a dig out here, look, as you can see, and this is just draining the bank of the canal. One thing they have found so far is this here. Now this is a culvert down here, and I'll jump round and we can have a better look at it. I think it's just all been cleared out. You can see it looks like it's been dug out, so they've kind of rediscovered it. You can see water running down through there now. I believe that's the water running out of the canal. I don't think this runs underneath the canal. I think it's part of a spillway. Have a look down in there. I'm not sure if this, I don't think this bit kind of coming back towards me is original. I expect it was covered over some time ago, And then this is the start of sort of meadows down here. Now the trust got match funding from Aviva recently to plant loads of trees and stuff down here. You can see there's trees dotted all the way down through, more down there and across. They've got these large areas here where they've got sort of newt ponds and stuff in. This is to protect all the planting that's been done and to protect the ponds and stuff. And they've got these sort of dotted about. I noticed there's another one a bit further along when I was walking down. I think they're doing the same thing down there as well. But this is kind of what the trusts are all about, is helping the environment. So before all of this is happening over on the canal over there, they're creating habitat for anything that they may disturb while they're working in the canal to come down through. And again, you've got one of these. This is what's called a dead hedge, a dedge. So I've done videos on this before. They basically, all the cuttings from anything they cut back get put into here. So they make a fence and this all rots down, and this will be full of bug life. So much stuff will live inside of these, it's unbelievable. And that's exactly what's happening over there as well, where we've just been. And this also helps protect the trees that they've planted. So walking away from Double Bridge, which is just up there, we go into another wide corner, which is just sort of here. On this corner is like another meadow, it drops down. This is another area where they're allowing sort of wildflowers to go through and planting and stuff to try and create more of a bee route. The idea is you create a whole area for pollinators, which are struggling at the moment. And the plan is to have this along the entire route of the Wilts and Berks Canal. Another way that the trusts are proving that it's not just about restoring the canal, it's about creating a habitat along its entire route. It's something we should all be supporting in these times. This is one of my favourite parts of the canal here. You come out of the long corner there, which is on a summer's day, it's absolutely beautiful down here. And you come up to this, and the towpath here is a bit lower than the canal. And it really brings you, when you've got the ducks and the swans and stuff all kind of paddling around down here, you're kind of almost at eye level with them. It's really nice. But this is going to be raised, I believe so anyway. I've noticed they've started piling some bits and pieces down here, some sort of mud and stuff they dug out from further up. And I think this path's going to be raised because what they do is they get slight leakage from the canal on this corner, and part of the problem is this bank's not very wide, so they want to support this bank to stop it from collapsing basically. So you can see where it's always wet down here. And I think the hope is if they can get some clay and stuff down in here, they can seal any leaks on this corner and raise it up so you don't have the sort of standing water and running water down here anymore. You see the butty there? That's what they used to do, all the little tasks, breed pulling and all that lot. It's full up at the moment. It's probably only, I'd say, an inch or two off of like the highest level you'll see it at, where it's over the first spill weir, which is just up here. So this is a first spill weir. It's only a small one, can overflow. So you can see the level of the water now. It's probably only about an inch actually off the top, maybe an inch and a half. So this is the highest the canal gets. Once it's overflowing, this isn't controlled. This is just taking the water out of the canal. You've got spillways further up, which you can adjust paddles, so you can adjust the level of the canal. But this is emptying it. Once it's full, this is taking that top layer of water off so it doesn't overflow the banks. And it runs down into the stream here, which is culverted underneath the canal, which you can't see of, so I assume that's a siphon. Got this tree canopy behind. You've got Cocklemore Brook coming in on the edge of Triangle Woods, very aptly named. And then you've got, looking down through here, you've just got this whole canopy of trees covering the canal. There's a little wharf down there, and this just, at the right time of year, you can see the oranges and the browns sort of up above here now. You imagine that all the way through. This is stunning and makes some amazing photos. The stream comes down into here. You can actually see, I don't know if you'll see it on here. Let me extend the pole and put it out. There's a ledge formed in there. The trust don't have a dredger as such down here at the moment. It's all done sort of with a digger from the bank. But that, they have to keep renewing stuff in there. So they've got like a trap that stops all the stuff coming down into it, because this just fills the canal up here with rubble and stuff that comes down the hill. I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody. all the comments, the shares, getting loads of shares lately, all the support I'm getting from the Canal Trusts, from Wilts and Berks who've always been brilliant, to the Lichfield who are fantastic, and others that publish me in their magazines and stuff like that and put me on their websites, and it's great support. I'm approaching 4,000 subscribers now, which is not bad considering how old the channel is and how niche it is as well. So huge thanks to everybody, and I'm really hoping we get to 4,000 before Christmas. I think it'll be mid-January, but I can hope. So please do share this if you can, that would be great, and share any of my other videos, especially in your local areas. This is the main spillway now. So this is at the bottom of the locks just here. And as you can see, it can be controlled, so it can be lifted up and down to empty more water out of the canal. But it's a great spillway. It's massive. It's really good. Runs down into here, which then runs off into a stream further down. I love the sound of running water. So peaceful. As a plumber, I don't like the sound of running water. I'll add that. And it normally means you messed up. This is where sort of the trip boat runs from. This is Boswell. This is I believe the butty we saw further down was half of this boat, and they chopped it in half so they could have a tug and a butty rather than having one big boat. The problem is down here there's no big winding holes, so you can't turn around a huge boat, but when you've got two smaller ones you can do a lot more with it. And then we're into the bottom lock. They've had to take one wall out because it was sloping basically, so they've got to rebuild that at some point. I'm not sure what the timescale is for all that. There's a lot of work been done up there already, and there's loads been done on the dry dock just above. I know they've got funding for various bits further up, which we'll see in a second. You've got the Carpenters workshop, which needs to progress really because of funding. You've got sort of timescales that you've got to spend that money in. So I think this will happen after all of that's done up there. Plus there's a bridge going across. Once they've got the bridge across the top of the top lock, and they've got access to the Carpenters workshop, which is being built, they can have whole sort of classrooms in there and stuff, and have events and stuff down here, and really open it up. Got a dry dock just over there, which is pretty much ready as well now. That just needs the roof putting on. It's a timber roof going on there, oak beams and stuff. So that will be done probably next year as well, I imagine. It's all coming together up here now. So all of this is done. This waiting wall's all done down here. The waiting wall's all done at the top. The dry dock's done. The Carpenters workshop's being built. The bridge is in the process of being built on top lock. Top lock is being restored as we speak. You then got, so bottom lock half to restore, and then you're just left with middle lock, which I can't get in to show you today, but that is in a bad way, I believe. I think the walls, maybe one of the walls is okay in that. Someone did say it's in better condition than you think. It's very overgrown and very dangerous, so don't go in there. And then on the other side of that you've got the saw pit, which obviously then went into the Carpenters workshop. I'm just going to poke my camera down through this gap. I don't even know where the edge of this lock is. I'm not sure what this is going to show you. I can see some brickwork over there actually. It's quite far away. So this is as far as the waiting wall comes along here, look. That's ready to go into the wing of the middle lock. You've got the Carpenters workshop there. If you remember from in the summer, I came down here when they uncovered the bottom. So they found a brick bottom for it. That's obviously all the foundations have gone in now. The first sort of few layers of blocks have gone in, ready to sort of carry on up through. I know they were trying to get it ready for Christmas, but I think there's been a delay on the actual timber for the building. And then we start coming in towards top lock. You've got the waiting wall, which was completed earlier in the year. That's ready to go into middle lock when middle lock is restored. And then up and around, you can see the kind of coming into the top now is the curved wall, which was being built last time I was here. But now they're into the lock and they are starting to clear the walls. This is a bigger view of the project. You can see there's a bridge going to go right across the front here where the scaffolding is now, which will replace obviously the little footbridge that's there. And then this goes off into the back of the lock. Here's where they've been raking out and clearing the bricks out. This is kind of below where the bridge is going to go and is at the start of the restoration of the lock. Some of it's been done already. You'll see the other side in a minute, but it's all been cleared, and you can see the new brickwork across the top here. The wall below that was obviously sound, so they didn't have to do anything. The bridge is going across this section. You can see the top of that curved wall we mentioned, and then as we're coming down, that's the bottom of where the arch bridge is going to go across the top of the lock. This is to allow access to the Carpenters workshop when it's complete, and it will run down from the lane above there, across the bridge in the middle, and then around the back here, down the side of the pound and into the Carpenters workshop, which is just above us here now. Then this is the old lock gate, so you can see part of the old wood from the gate itself. That's where it all sits in, and then back down through the locks again. So this bit's all ready to go. You can see where they dug a trench out. This is to drain the water out of the top lock and take you down take the water away from it while they're working, down into middle lock, which is this sort of bushy area here. You've got a saw pit just on the fence on the left hand side there, and that goes down but back into the pound then. Thanks for watching. Please do have a look at my members, see if you can sign up, it'd be a great help, and please do sign up for the Wilts and Berks Canal Trust. Have a great day.